And when it's a very upbeat, buoyant track about sort of reclaiming your life.
Keith Urban's life and career have always been defined by extraordinary talent, relentless work, and public admiration. From sold-out stadiums to Grammy stages, he appeared to embody the perfection every fan and critic expected. But behind the accolades and applause, a different story unfolded. A story of vulnerability, anxiety, and the weight of carrying expectations that no human could sustain forever. One evening, backstage at the CMA Awards, that hidden struggle became impossible to ignore. In that quiet dressing room, the polished image of a confident superstar gave way to a deeply human man, struggling with the lifetime of pressures he had endured. The dressing room breakdown backstage at the 2025 CMA Awards, Keith Urban was not preparing, tuning his guitar, or smiling as the world expected. Instead, he sat alone, trembling, with tears running down his face, hands shaking so badly he could not hold a guitar pick. In that quiet, invisible moment, the man behind the superstar facade cracked completely. Lainey Wilson witnessed something no one else had. A glimpse of a lifetime of fear, insecurity, and accumulated pressure boiling over. It was not mere nerves. It was a collision of decades of expectations, personal trauma, and hidden pain finally surfacing. In those moments, the public persona fell away, revealing the child who had grown up unsure, anxious, and constantly fighting to belong. Childhood shadows in New Zealand. Keith's story begins far from the stages of Nashville, in a small New Zealand home weighed down by financial struggles and quiet tension. As a boy, he often felt invisible, overlooked by parents working tirelessly, and mocked by peers at school for his accent and timid voice. Those early experiences shaped a deep-seated fear of not being enough. Music entered as a sanctuary when his father brought home an old guitar. Though he knew nothing of chords or technique, the instrument became a lifeline, the first thing that made him feel steady and alive. In that fragile sanctuary, Keith learned that creativity could be survival, and the boy inside him clung to that lifeline even as the pressures of life built around him. Music as refuge and survival. From the moment Keith touched the guitar, music became more than a passion. It became a method of self-preservation. Whenever school or the world felt overwhelming, he returned to the strings. His parents recognized his focus and even sacrificed to provide lessons and support, demonstrating a quiet but profound love. These small acts of care instilled a belief in Keith that dedication to his craft could create stability in a life otherwise filled with uncertainty. Yet, the shadows of childhood, doubt, fear, and anxiety never fully vanished. They matured with him, echoing in moments of silence and in the subtle whisper that he might never truly belong, even as the applause of future audiences celebrated his talents. The struggle of early career. When Keith arrived in Nashville, he carried nothing but a guitar and the hope that music could save him again. Early years were marked by financial insecurity, sleeping in cars, playing to sparse audiences, and surviving on barely enough to eat. During this period, the insecurities of his childhood resurfaced, compounded by the pressures of trying to belong in an entirely new world. To cope, he turned to alcohol and substances, which dulled the fear, but also his clarity. Despite this, his music remained sharp, honest, and emotionally resonant, capturing the attention of listeners who felt the hunger and survival instincts in every performance. The struggle taught him resilience and reinforced the idea that art could both protect and expose him simultaneously. Breakthrough and stardom. Keith's breakthrough came with the album Golden Road, which revealed not just technical skill, but raw emotional honesty. Audiences and critics began to notice the man behind the musician, the boy who had overcome doubt and hardship. Success brought awards, fame, and stability. Yet, with recognition came new pressures. Suddenly, he was expected to maintain flawless performances, embody the ideal image of a country music star, and continue to outshine past accomplishments. Each triumph brought not just applause, but an invisible weight of expectation. Beneath the polished image, the boy from New Zealand still lingered, haunted by fears that he did not deserve the accolades, that the admiration could vanish, and that his personal wounds could resurface at any moment. Love and Stability through Nicole Kidman. Meeting. Nicole Kidman marked a turning point in Keith's life, offering a grounding presence amidst professional chaos. She saw beyond fame to the fragile boy inside the man, providing emotional safety he had rarely experienced. Their union offered a new kind of stability, helping him navigate the pressures of touring, performing, and public scrutiny. Music deepened, performances sharpened, and Keith rose to new heights. Yet, even with love, he carried shadows that success could not erase. The relationship anchored him, but could not eliminate the lingering fear that every achievement was temporary, and that the old insecurities might one day return to undermine everything he had built. The price of fame. As Keith ascended to global superstardom, the pressures became relentless. He was no longer just a musician. He was an icon, a standard, a symbol of perfection. Every album, performance, and award came with the expectation to surpass the previous achievement. The applause and recognition masked the exhaustion, anxiety, and isolation he faced. Even as the public admired his poise, the constant demand for resilience eroded his sense of self. Fame created both protection and imprisonment. While it shielded him from obscurity, it trapped him under expectations he could never fully silence. The weight of being flawless in the eyes of the world became a quiet, persistent struggle that no one outside his closest circle could see. Divorce and personal collapse. When Nicole left, the fragile stability Keith had relied upon shattered. The divorce tore through his confidence, leaving him isolated and emotionally vulnerable. Public appearances continued, but private life became a landscape of emptiness. Tours and performances became distractions from confronting profound personal loss. Though he continued performing with precision and professionalism, every stage, every string of his guitar reminded him of what had changed. The accumulation of years of pressure, unresolved childhood trauma, and personal heartbreak converged into a quiet unraveling. This period illustrated the complexity of human resilience. Even the strongest, most talented individuals can falter when the support structures that sustain them disappear. The CMA Awards collapse. Backstage at the CMA Awards, Keith's internal struggles became impossible to hide. Trembling, disoriented, and overwhelmed, he questioned his purpose and ability to continue. Lainey Wilson witnessed a man stripped of the legend persona, exposed to the raw reality of years of accumulated stress, personal pain, and unresolved anxiety. A single message he received triggered the moment, though it was the weight of decades that truly broke him. It was not about forgetting lyrics or fear of performance. It was a collapse under the pressure of a lifetime of expectations, industry demands, and personal loss. In that moment, the mask fell, revealing the human fragility that had been hidden behind fame and perfection. The mask and aftermath. Even as the performance continued, Keith's appearance of calm was maintained by a lifetime of learned resilience. Muscle memory and practice masked the inner turmoil, concealing the tremors of panic and exhaustion that only someone close could perceive. The music world saw precision, grace, and control, unaware of the private battles that persisted backstage. The incident highlighted the unspoken realities of fame. The public sees the output, but rarely the process, the struggle, or the cost. Keith's experience serves as a reminder that even those who seem invincible carry unseen burdens, and that success does not erase the human need for support, understanding, and self-care. a reflection on humanity and resilience. Keith Urban's journey, from a small New Zealand boy to a global superstar, embodies triumph and fragility intertwined. His story illuminates the human cost of perfection, the weight of expectations, and the persistent shadows of childhood trauma. Public recognition cannot fully shield someone from internal struggles, and even the strongest personas are built upon layers of vulnerability. The CMA Backstage moment was not the beginning of collapse, but a culmination of decades of resilience under pressure. Yet it also reflects the depth of his humanity. A man who survives, creates, and inspires while carrying wounds that the world never sees, proving that even legends are profoundly human.